Good morning and welcome to today's live show. It is Christmas Eve. And let's look at our chart. Let's see if it shows when today's actually going to end. Let's see here. Ooh, right there. 11:30 for me. All right, 11:30 noon for me. All right, so we need to be paying attention to what's going to go on today because weirdly enough, I do think this is a decent size range for the day actually. It's a pretty average size range if I'm being totally honest about it. And it looks okay. So I'm just going to pay attention to the upside move for the SPY being 598.63 to the upside and 590.75 to the downside. Now we're going to pay attention to volatility in a second because that signal did confirm. It's just not looking like a great confirmation at this point, but get these up on our charts for today. And hey, who doesn't like a half day, right? What's that? What's that? Has anyone watched Arrested Development? Nick's first. He calls it out. Nick's first. Has anyone watched Arrested Development? Please tell me someone's watched Arrested Development. Someone. Nobody? Okay, fine. All right, you guys gotta watch Arrested Development. It's one of the most creative, funny things ever. Okay? You gotta be watching it. It is so freaking funny. If you're one of those clever, funny people, it's so funny. I'm long short term, but short long term. I think that makes total sense, Brian. I mean, oh yeah, okay, March contract. And yeah, I'm someone who likes to reposition their position, right? I like to reposition a lot, but yeah. I watched it years ago. Okay, well, do you remember when, I don't know why, but every Christmas Eve when the market's open, I always think of Buster because he's in the Army. And they're like, Buster, what are you doing? He's like, Army had a half day. And he Army had a half day. I don't know. It's just such a funny show. If you guys do have some free time, one, the course is still on sale, right? The course is going to be on sale for Christmas. This is going to be our best sale every single year. We're going to do this sale, but that means you're going to have to wait 12 months from now to get it next time. So look at that sale down in the description. You can right now learn all the stuff that we do for just $100. That's right. We're bringing it down to that price. I'm going to leave it at that price every single Christmas. Going into the new year, so you can have that first week as well to get it for the new year. Kind of like a new year, new me thing, but you can also get swing trading if you're really wanting to start out from the basics. Well, then you might want to get to swing trading, which is only going to cost you $50, which is pretty awesome. I think we want to do our best sale now, and we're going to keep that going every single year. But just to note, get these up on your charts, 598.63, 590.75, the Qs right now. We have 526.77 and 518.97. Look at us taking back 5-day. Pretty good, pretty good. We might need to wait a couple of hours to see if this 2 hour is going to curl up and see if we run into problems here, right? See if we run into problems. The reason that I'm bringing that up is just because of this signal right here. We noticed that this did confirm and it hasn't unconfirmed yet. And we're trying to hold up in my line of 1683. So we're looking for if this 2 hour can curl up for some kind of rapid move to the upside. But we're also looking in case this daily is able to cross down because that would lead us to the squeeze. Really, this is the squeeze signal. We talked about it over here. We've talked about it. Actually, the main times we talked about it was here way in the past, right? April was great to us. And right over here. So we're paying attention to it just because we know that when this crosses down, most likely we are going to this time end up down towards our little trend, or we could see a bigger move for the whole first part of January and get down towards 1212. But we want to be paying attention anytime this daily does curl back up. But we have to pay attention to today because you did confirm 30-minute divergence. It's just not coming in at this moment. So we'll pay attention to that. Let's look at the other indices for now. I mean, I don't have the IWM range correct on here, but looks like it's trying to make a higher low in some way, if not double bottom. DIA trying to make that higher low at this moment, not showing the most positivity, getting some rejection in our now sell zone, right? This was a buy zone, now it becomes a sell zone. We break through it, we use it as resistance. So we got to see if we can fall up or down from here. Maybe we do have the structure to head down right now. So if this 30-minute turns down, we got to be ready to react. I'm ready to react. Are you? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I got those boots. Something like that. On a cruise and still listening. Hey, I hope you're having fun on your cruise. I'm sure the weather is warmer there, which must be pretty damn nice. Start scaling out of Nvidia. Does that make any sense? I mean, it kind of does, but you want to just see... I mean, Nvidia is one that you'd really like to see that pullback, and I think as you approach 140, 112, it does make sense. Now, I'm going to pull up my other charts on my other screen here. Let me do this. Okay. Because it's good to, if you really want to be like, am I making a decision? One, if you're thinking, if the goal is done and you've made enough money with the trade, then I'm never going to hate on you for taking profit, right? I mean, that's just silly. If you made money in the market, you won. Right now, you would say up towards 141 is the key level. And the reason for that is we see the very obvious gap. We see the resistance come in, we break through and see an upside move, but we see the very obvious gap. And when we go retest that area, we fall, right? We fall. And then anywhere in this area could be a sign of resistance. So you're pretty much in the area that I would say it makes total sense for you to have that style of thinking of like, hey, this is a great move. Let me take profit on this move. Curled up into positive territory on a 30-minute, never curled back down. So it looks really good. Yeah. I'm not going to hate on you for being like, oh, this is a great move. What was the goal of the trade? Hey, I'm taking profit. You made money. I'm gonna applaud you. Good job, Matthew. That's all I gotta say. What's your kink? No, I'm just kidding. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Okay. So yeah, this is the right area. You would just say, hey, this could extend to 141.12, maybe even a little bit past that with your if you're a part of Patreon, the weekly expected move, right? So you're not out of a weekly expected move yet, but you could be soon. So I mean, the thinking towards that move is fantastic, Matthew. I'm not gonna hate on you for that at all, you know what I mean? Let's go look at Tesla. I really wanted to see this one. This is, okay, Tesla's the one I want to watch. Remember, I know that yesterday we're still keeping the macro in mind in our videos, right? But we're also like, hey, let's try to catch some kind of Santa rally if they're going to give us one. And I think one big sign of that is if Tesla can curl up on a 2-hour today, I think that would be fantastic. Now you're only going to have like 1.5, 2 bars maybe. So that'll be interesting. But the other ones were Amazon, right? We want to see if Amazon's able to do it. And then the other one is Meta. And I really like the Meta one, and that one actually looks the best right now, right? This is the best look. And we mentioned this multiple times in the morning yesterday, just because this actually gave you a tapering spot, tapered one more time, and then was able to curl up. And you have triple divergence on the RSI. It looks really, really clean. And so now we're looking for it to take back 5-day, curl up the 2-hour, and it looks like that's going to happen. Let's be open to the lower high over the next few days, but also be open to if the daily can actually just curl back up, right? If the daily can curl back up, we might even go up all the way to these levels, and then we have to watch out in January of 2025. I genuinely think we might, unless this thing goes ballistic and we wipe out these divergences for Meta, that would be something that convinces me. I might write that in my notes. Right, I'm gonna take a note. I'm gonna get out my notepad. I'm gonna go, okay, let's look at this real quick. Oh yeah, this is a video I need to make. Someone suggested, but it's kind of like a what to be aware of for Meta, right? So if I just type Meta over here, I can go, okay, now I'm looking at potential lower high. Awesome. Next note here would be open to daily crossing and taking out previous high. Then I'll take another one and I'll just say, watch out if divergence holds on daily chart. All right, so now I have some notes for Meta going forward, and I can go, okay, let me really just pay attention to that. And I have every kind of scenario I'm thinking of, everything that I'm going to pay attention to for Meta. Now I have it, and then I can look at my notes and go, okay, did this happen? Did this happen? How's this happen? Do I see 30-minute divergence, right? So what can we look for? Well, if we get a strong move here, right? If you get a strong move like this, it backs off, you get another strong move and you get up into here and then you see some kind of divergence, that's going to lead to the 2-hour turning down, right? We're looking for this signal in the opposite direction, and that will help us out finding the lower high. But if we're going to get a rally, then we could take out that high. So there you go. Looks like a giant fake out, and it still can be, right? We are not out of the woods quite yet. And if you really, really want to see a strong move into 2025, we kind of talked about this. You could see this 2-hour go up for a little bit longer, for a little bit more time, and then we actually curl down and everyone gets faked out again. You get closer to the edge of the channel. But we could dip back into the buy zone, and then you actually would have like some kind of double bottom at that point. This is the best look for 2025. Just so you're aware, this is the best bullish look for 2025. So we'll pay attention to that. But as the buying is just slowly continuing, are we really going to see a rug pull this week? I know market makers can do a lot, but it seemed like yesterday everyone was on the bear side. We can notice that the CPC last night recording in at 0.89. We have the PCC as of the end of the day going at 0.919, but you'll notice most of the day we were up at higher levels, right? We saw this sporadic move down on Monday, but then we went right up and we held up in those areas for a while. So we see we were low, low, low. Then the little tiny drop comes in, right? And then we see people go, oh yeah, this is it. This is the next big drop. And then they go super to the put side and we notice, ooh, they might not be the most happy this morning if this is going to go to the upward direction. So you're still thinking correctly because you're keeping the bearish thing in mind. I think that's fantastic. And I think, you know, something that Matthew was saying earlier can add to that and say, yeah, I want to be careful with these upward moves. And if the goal is reached, then maybe I'm not going to do this anymore, right? Maybe I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Christmas time. It should have added to the course. Let me check. Because should have added. That should have added. What the heck is going on here? Format. Okay. So it's like on there, but it's not showing up because of the format of the video. So something I must have saved it incorrectly. So right after today's live show, I will try to get that formatted correctly. Oh, I hope I saved a regular version of that, like the recording. Let me check. Okay, yeah, I have the recording, so I might just have to re-edit it. Yeah, it's in a bad format. I think it has to be in MP4 or movie. Okay, so that's obviously me trying to work too fast. That's me trying to work too fast. So yeah, I'll get that up as soon as possible. I'll try to get it up right after the stream. I just have to, I think I am gonna have to re-edit it. I'll see if I can change the format of the save though. Damn it. Yeah, thanks for asking, Bowdy. I'll try to get that up ASAP. Through 20 bucks at DRCT. Let's go check out some stuff. We got some time. Well, actually, we don't have time now, but we're looking at it anyway. Holy crap. You guys know me, when I see a big move like this, I like to at least see a 30-minute pullback, but let's look at this on the, oh my gosh. And it's still going, folks. Holy. Why was this move happening, cuckoos? Was there a reason for it? Short seller problem? I guess I can check if there's some short selling going on. Yeah, thank you guys for keeping me updated on that. Oh my word. Oh my. You want to see them fighting something? You think they're happy about this? Because they aren't. You have 15.8 million short sale volume in one day. Oh, I wonder if the short seller theory I have triggered for this. It actually didn't. It was too fast. Yeah, too fast, but damn. It did trigger yesterday and we're open up at higher levels. Now, I like 30-minute pullbacks in these kinds of moves. If you're someone who knows about a short squeeze, like a short sale problem, I get it. That makes sense. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, wait. A lot of stuff is moving right now. Okay, so watching this 30-minute, looking at the market and looking at options kind of go nutty. Options are kind of going nutty here. Looking at Wolf, looking at FFIE. FFIE options are kind of going nuts. And then AMC options are going nuts as well. FFIE, without even an upward move, up 457%. Yeah, so you're trying to confirm right now for AMC. That's a good sign. GME still holding at higher levels. That one's starting to curl up. I know we didn't go over this in last night's video. Oh, and Mara looking pretty nice with the rejection divergence, by the way. Not necessarily the best. Let me blow this up. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so you have divergence on the MACD and RSI. It's just a rejection divergence. You guys know I like my flowy looking divergences more. So this means a 2-hour pop would make sense, but you notice that the buy zone is now below you, right? The key level to hold up in here is now gone, and you'll notice that it breakdown areas right here. So now you have the chance to reject from this area, but very interesting. One thing I was calling out was Bitcoin. Bitcoin's making a bottom here. Bitcoin's making a bottom here. I just said something very light on Twitter about it. I was just like, yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's making a bottom, which would suggest Christmas rallies on the table. And yeah, we're starting to see some upside. So this means a daily can cross back up to the upside. So if you're looking for that next move for Bitcoin, this is the base that you want to head higher. And maybe this was just a blip. It is a very tight divergence there. But this would suggest the daily can curl up here as long as the 4-hour keeps holding those signals. So if Bitcoin's going to do this, then most likely Christmas rally's on the table. Yeah, we're holding on to stuff. Apple's still making the upward move. This is kind of crazy for Apple, but there we go. There we go, Tesla. Do the thing. Do the thing where you go up. All right, Meta trying to confirm it as well. Microsoft, not able to confirm yet. Google, I think confirmed, right? Trying to at this moment. GME's at 31. AMC, I think AMC is the signal you watch even for GME right now. I think if AMC could see the positivity, that might be a good thing for GME. Not curling up anymore as of now. Well, you are just on a negative bar. We don't like to see that. EJT trying to do it. SoFi, Palantir, another upward move for Palantir. I did see some price targets from some people of like $100 for Palantir. This is nutty at this point. That is some crazy stuff. Still holding 2-hour divergence all the way across. Remember the 4-hour is what we're really watching here. Dude, is there going to be a rug pull after? Like, Palantir is way up there. Apple's way up there. It's kind of fishy. All right, let's just pay attention to the regular market this morning. I do have to hop off in about an hour from now, but we will be doing a little bit longer streams the rest of the week on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, Nvidia, I think you're looking for Nvidia to test 141.12, maybe 141.50, and then we'll see what happens. These are the key levels now. It means we might go through a pullback period. We might get that pullback to come. Right, we're looking for the traps here. The trap would be 30-minute crosses down, 30-minute crosses up, and then we see something towards Friday that gives us the signal of weakness. Per me, I'm trying to catch a good move, and if I can catch that by Friday, and then it's all said and done, I can be like, all right, now my risk is out of the market again. Natural gas ripping for the past few days. I think you're going to see some stuff rip. I know someone was asking about... what was it? Commodities and yields. Ugh. Gold. Wanted to see if that 30-minute would take us higher as well. But yeah, I like the signal from Bitcoin. Qs, we got to watch that for a little bit today, but I think you're just taking back the 5 days all we're paying attention to today. Google dumping. Now, Google is something we want to be paying attention to. This could mean that a lot of things are actually going to back off today. Especially Google and Nvidia look like, hey, I could use a retest. Oh no, Christmas time, it's gonna be awful, and then retests and turns back up. We'll see, but we still want to treat it very seriously. For me, it's like if I had Nvidia here, I'd probably be like, all right, this is as high up as it's supposed to go, a little bit higher for the week, and then I would go, okay, maybe I can break even, leave some runners for the rest of the rally if that wants to keep happening. Maybe we don't even retest, maybe we just see that start to move, right? GME, very, very nice, 31.49, very, very nice. 32 key, actually 32 is not the key level, right? It's actually 35 now for this week. Where are my options? There they are. So let's do, seriously. It was 35. 35 was the level for GME. It's the call wall for GME at 35. But obviously 32 is going to be important. And pretty much every digit higher is important for GME, right? DIA, not very happy. IWM not getting the most participation. But things look good. Like, you can't complain. The 2 hour has crossed. The 2 hour is attempting to cross. Like, this is what you need to see. And then we'll see if the 2 hour momentum can take over and we just kind of shrug off that 30 minute and the 30 minute gets overbought for a little bit of time. But I think Meta will be a good one to pay attention to for this move higher. See if the 30 minute can make a nice move and then make some kind of divergence for us. I think this would be a good one for a hint. Very cool, very good. I like it. All right, let me get this set up over here. There we go. Yeah, I think you can't complain about GME. It's taking out 30, it took out 31, now it's trying to hold 31. If you can take out 32, you're just getting closer and closer to the goal. For this week, I think 35 would be important. But obviously this week we have the key level of 32.79, so it would say anything past 32.79 would be good, especially if you can hold there. GME pumping on no news yet. Imagine if Ryan Cohen announces buying some Berkshire Hathaway stock, insulates GME for the short sellers, and we attract more institutional buying. Thank you so much for the $10, and thank you for your insight, Short Fridays. Fantastic, and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for the $10, and I hope your family has a good one. I hope you have a good one. For now, I'd really be like, okay, just do the signals look good, and do they continue to curl up into positive territory? Because I think you're coming to a breaking point. The reason I think you're coming to a breaking point is because of the AMC signals, because of the state of the market right now, and because this daily signal from AMC. I really think this daily signal from AMC is exactly what it looked like before the big moment last time. Now AMC lagged behind, so GME, you want to be paying attention to it, because if this thing curls down on a 30 minute, yeah, it means bad, but if it curls up in positive territory, that can mean good. And now you're coming to a key level, so this would be an area where we could see a pullback. I think this could be a great area as you have made the double bottom. The double bottom has played out, and now you're coming to the key level. We could make some kind of handle, come back down to the 5 for a moment, and then see that curl up. This would be very, very nice to see something like this going forward. Some kind of consolidation in here actually would be a good thing for GME. But obviously, if it just takes off, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be disappointed. I need to check on this guy. The only problematic thing I think for this run is you don't necessarily have the participation of DIA. So you don't have the participation really from the Dow Jones and the IWM. So small caps not fully participating. Dow is trying to a little bit more and has room to the upside. So I actually, you know, if the Dow and IWM can run here, we can see some good price action. But for GME, really, I just want to pay attention now. It seems like it's going to be a big next 30 days, I think, for GME. So we'll be paying very close attention to it because it's holding up so well. If it starts to break down, obviously, if the daily starts to curl back down, look at that daily curling up today. That would be a fantastic signal for today to complete, because then you'd have the 2 hour positive, the daily going positive, and the 30 minute positive all at the same time. And I think that's just fantastic. I think that's great. Nvidia running into our line here. This is where we do expect some resistance. But if you want some kind of squeeze, you're kind of hoping to blow past that. Let's see the resistance above 141.12. That's our key level. Yeah, I think if Ryan or if really if any news came out, that would be great for the stock, right? It would be good for GME to get some news. Just I would expect that news to be fought. You know what I mean? I think I would expect that to be fought a little bit. But on a light volume week, you kind of don't mind it. Q is heading up towards the daily expected move. That's why we're going to click over to it and just see how it behaves around here. We are pointing directly towards the weekly, and we are in a moment where seasonality might kick in and we might still see that upward move. But sometimes it is right after Christmas. Sometimes it's literally like the trading days, a couple days after Christmas, we finally make the strong base and then we head to the upside. So I think we're being open-minded even as we do hold some calls. We're being open-minded, and I think that's the big deal, right? That's the thing we need to be doing. We're like, yes, we know seasonality. Okay, awesome. We're looking for that run. This looks like a potential run. You're making some great price action. But just in case, if this curls down, it's still by that center line. We're running into that daily expected move soon. Let's see if the SPY has a little bit more room. Apple and Tesla moving. I'm still worried about Apple. I really am at this point, but am I going to fight this? No, I'm not going to fight this in any way, only if the 2 hour crosses down. But I want you to look at this signal. Apple is a massive stock. So one thing that could convince me today to get out is if Apple starts to show weakness. I'm kind of hoping that Apple just sees a rocket ship and ends up taking out these levels, because around Christmas time, Apple does really, really well. When people want to buy the indices or buy stocks in the indices, they always look to Apple first, which is a big deal when it is showing this. You want to just be like, okay, I know this is here, so I know the risky one is probably actually Apple at this point. So you're kind of hoping, like, I'm kind of like, if you want to see that rally, you probably got to see Apple hold, consolidate, go up, just go up sporadically here. Google, someone said, was rolling down, so we're paying attention to it. Nothing rolling down just yet. Just going to click through. I like this from Microsoft, still building in this area. Still building in this area for Microsoft. I just want to see that 2 hour curl up, and I know that I'm looking for a lower high first. I'm looking for maybe 446.85, somewhere up in this area. If we can retake this 5, we can see that type of move. And then this is what I'm talking about. We could see the rally just later on. We could see a rapid move up. You could go up into Friday. You could come all the way down into next week. And then we could end up curling back up into positive territory. And wouldn't that be a strong base? We will be paying attention to all signals like this, because that will tell us if the daily has that trend move higher. So we'll pay attention to it, right? We're thinking about the different ways that this can move if it rejects. If it doesn't reject and the daily just curls up, okay, awesome. Daily momentum is back with us. We see a daily move, but we have to see if that is going to be brief in some way, just last for a couple of weeks and then end up turning down. But as of right now, we want to be paying attention to the strength of our base. And right now it is only on a 30-minute chart that it's becoming strong. So I need to be open to the 2 hour making a stronger base later on. Google looks a little bit hung up, right? A little bit hung up. That's why I do think if this lackluster move wants to reload for a second, I'm okay with that. And then what was the other one? You think Meta looking a little bit weak? Meta actually has one of the strongest bases, okay? Meta has one of the strongest 30-minute bases. So we do want to be aware that that's not positive. We do want to be aware that if that crosses, it's bad. If it rejects down below the 5, it's bad, right? So we just need to see, hey, does this 2 hour get a good move? We want a good positive bar above the 5. And guess what? You're back in swing trade mode and looking for something like 617, probably into next week. And then around 617, we'll look if we build up, build up, build up, build up. Oh no, we cross down and then we cross up like this. This is what we're going to look for from Meta for a sign of weakness. And that will really help us out. Meta does have daily divergence. That's why we're going to pay attention to weakness in the chart. What's the QQQ daily? Let's go over there real quick. In red here, we have 526.77 to the upside, 518.97 to the downside for the Qs today. Is consumer confidence on the way up, guys? Weirdly enough, this is where yields, actually this is where IWM could catch it, because yields are hitting a, or TLT, just to show it to you guys real quick. This is a pretty good signal right now. Now, TLT, I might think about this one, but overall we can see, hey, that's at lower levels. We're running into a weekly expected move, actually. And if we curl up to the upside, boom, you might have that sturdy divergence down here. Right when everyone thinks the yields are going higher, TLT might be saying something a little bit different. Let's go check on the yields here to see if that's going to turn down. We want to pull up a 2-hour chart. We're seeing the opposite signal at the same time. So this actually is a pretty good look at this moment. Now, does it suggest that this has to be some kind of crazy, absolutely rip move for TLT? It can be, right? TLT's been very beat up, but it looks like just to me, TLT could see a 2-hour move higher, and I believe TLT has really been breaking down, right? So we want to pay attention to a strong base down here, which means I could get a move, then that could reject, and then I could make that strong base. That's all I'm looking for from the 2-hour, right? I don't necessarily have like fantastic signals here. Maybe I will later on. But I wanted to check on something here. I wanted to see if the options get pretty cheap here for TLT, like people are overly bearish on it. Don't mind it. AMD to the moon. Breaking through weekly is a great thing to do. AMD still going to the upside. We'll see if that is going to last, because right now you probably have that 30-minute divergence popping up. Not really, actually. Looks pretty good. I like where it got to. I like where it got to, right? And now I want to see, maybe we do reload for a little bit in here before we see the upward move. But it is now here's what we can read into. Remember, IWM was lagging behind, and we just talked about TLT and the yields, which means IWM could catch a bid if those yields start to come down dramatically. PCC hit 2. Are people high? I know, Courtney. Yo, Courtney. Oh my goodness, AMD is such a pain sometimes. Are people high? Because puts are. That is not the Christmas season, guys. Come on now. You're gonna want a Christmas crash. You want a crash for Christmas. You want a bunch of people to go unemployed, a bunch of people to lose a bunch of money. Come on. No. All highs coming in January, then I am risk off. I think that's a perfectly fine statement there, Nicholas. Yo, so who did this? Which one of you guys did this? Who did this? I do like market stuff sometimes. Actually, most of the time. Most of the time I just want to react quickly, so I just do a market order. If I can look at the bid ask and I can find how much people are wanting for that and I can put in a price, I'll do it. But a lot of the time I'm just reacting very quickly, and sometimes I'll just try to shave a few cents off of there. But for the most part, I can make a market one, and it's plenty fine. The reason that market's okay with a lot of these setups that we talk about is, let's take Meta for instance, right? So where's Meta at? So if you take Meta for instance, because by the time that this is going like this, people are so bearish that the premiums for calls the calls are cheap. Right, so usually calls get cheaper, and then you see this and you go, okay, calls are cheaper. When that confirms, boom, okay, calls are cheaper here. So usually market is perfectly fine. But you can always try for it, and then if you don't get the price you want, you just have to be aware that stocks move very quickly. What does a low PCC mean? It means a lot of people are towards the call side. A high PCC means everyone is shorting the market this morning, which actually can add some validity to more of a squeeze at this point. But that initial big amount of bearishness can affect the market. So we want to be paying attention. Does the market react to the bearishness? Is there selling behind the bearishness? Or are people just trying to call some kind of stock market crash today? Exactly, yeah, Samson. So that's why divergences and things like that are great, especially if you're paying attention to PCC. So now we know calls are potentially pretty damn cheap. Actually, I might just do this instead of that one. See, like here, let's go look at IWM again. No, we probably don't need to look at that. I'm just seeing that TLT wants to make a move and IWM still at lower prices. I'm aware of that breaking down, so I'm just watching it at this moment, looking for if the 2 hour can fully give me a good bar to confirm. Maybe it plays catch up eventually. But that's a huge shift to the put side. Now we're gonna do it. Do it! 670. Why are these call options going insane right now? Weirdly enough, AMC going down, the call options actually getting pretty good. That's the one keeping. All right, so we're chilling. Your position for a crash today? Like as of now? I mean, you got an hour and a half left in the bar, so I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm just saying, and you're testing the first breakdown area. Like if you really wanna take it in consideration for the Qs, you would say this level is very, very important to retake. So I totally understand. Not so much today, but you're starting to build that position, Terry. Is that how I'm hearing it? Is that how I'm reading it in the chat? Kind of just trying to build that position slowly. Merry Christmas, Justin, with the $10. Thank you guys so much for the $10 donations before Christmas. You guys are more than nice. My goodness, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much, Justin, and thank you, Short Fridays. Merry Christmas. Can you look at Starbucks? Yes, we can look at Starbucks. Took the low, like you said. Yeah, that's what I was aware of for AMC. Let's look at Starbucks here, because Justin was nice enough to donate around Christmas time. We got to focus on that. Now, we'll look here. Look at the 2 hour. Very, very beat up. Very, very beat up. So once you see this, there's no tapering, anything like that. This can turn around in a V shape, but it's way more likely to create that base, right? So what I'm looking for from this is this. Okay, I think that would be fantastic. But one thing I want to be aware of is if that doesn't happen and we just head in the upward direction, because I assume you're seeing this drop and you're like, hey, I'm looking for something. We're in the gap too, so that's a little bit risky. Daily, okay, daily, if that can confirm up at any time, you're testing the 200. So maybe this is actually a good swing trade to the upside. Now, some areas you would want to be paying attention to if we just have our lines out. Let me make sure this is on like a 1 and a white. So first area I'd be looking at is I would make one right there. All right, I'd make a little bit lower, frickin' A. Right there. Okay, so we would pay attention to 91.09. If you can retake that, okay, then we're going to want to pay attention to right here at 93.81. If we can take that, then we're going to pay attention to all the way. Let's see here. I think right here is the line I want. 98.03. So if that daily is able to cross up, hey, we might have a good move higher, actually. That would be better. If it's going to fail, then I could pay attention to these lines. If it even catches a bounce, it doesn't have a strong base. I might have the opportunity to go test 91.09, curl back down, create that base. That's what I would really like to see from this going forward. We'll see how that plays out, but that's mainly how I see it. As far as 30-minute goes, you're making a ton of divergence. So can you get that 2 hour bounce now? Yeah, the signals are suggesting that on the 30-minute, you were coming way down like this. You saw a moment that was bad, and then you tapered it again, which gives you the divergence point. Very, very sturdy now. So a 2 hour move higher would make total sense, but be aware that the 2 hour doesn't have the strong base. So now you got swing trading in your brain, and you know how that 2 hour could make the stronger base, and that's what we're looking for. Holy Tesla. 4%. Thank you again for the $10, Justin. Merry Christmas. Sorry, let me October when it shot up this high, it continued higher, but that really doesn't mean much, but means a little hope. Most of the time, this is like intraday with PCC. You want to see how that CPC comes out tomorrow, right? So we want to see how this came out today, and it's at 0.89 or whatever. So it's at 0.89. So it's nobody's really to the bear side. Nobody's really fully to the bull side either. We're kind of right in the middle. So I'd like to see with that big move up, I'd like to see if the CPC comes in at higher levels. Initially, that can mean selling as you cross through, and then it could mean positivity as you cross through to the downside. So when you cross up, that can mean some selling comes in, and then when you cross down, right, people get overly bearish, and then that starts to come down and cross through. That's usually when you see the bullishness actually start. Now, it never plays out perfectly that way, just so you are aware. It never does. But one thing I'd be paying attention to for a rally, if you're looking for it, is if the dollar is actually able to confirm down. I think that would really help you out. And if volatility is confirming down, I think that would help us out as well. So we have a lot of good signals out there. We have a lot of good signals out there that we can pay attention to look for that risk. US 10-year yield is US 10-year is zooming 4.623, and the funny thing about that is right when you mention it, right when you're like, wow, this thing is booming, you start to see a 2-hour divergence, which means a 4-hour, if that has divergence, ooh, okay, the daily can start to curl down. Weirdly enough, look at this, and this signal right here, guys, just so you are aware of 2025, this signal here having divergence right as this is going to the upside. If all of that ends up confirming and you keep going, you go negative here, that's the signal that, hey, the Fed probably has to cut. Like emergency, like a big cut, like a 0.75 cut in January or February of 2025. Just so you're aware, that's what I'm looking for here. And I think that is very possible. That's why I'm going to mention it to you guys. And right as you see the yield go higher, you have 2-hour divergence. And what do you have in the opposite direction? Well, you have TLT reacting down to a weekly expected move and giving you 30-minute in the other direction. So this would mean a 2-hour trend move higher can happen. So if I was looking at this and I go, okay, TNX then should be showing me something, and look at that. You see the 30-minute divergence. So this means that TNX most likely will reload, go down to the 5, or maybe even confirm a 2-hour down, and I think that would be a big problem. You do have a steep divergence there. Now, this can still be a retest of some stuff, right? Maybe a breakout or something like that, and then we'll see if that can head to the upside. Whoa, Tina, $50. Merry Christmas. Thanks to you. I made thousands on Tesla and Meta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best. Hey, I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm the best YouTuber, but my goodness, thank you so much for the $50 donation. You gotta tell. I'll tell you what, Tina. Because I like you guys to make my life better with these donations. And you know what? How I make my life better using your donations? I give something to my wife, and what a perfect time for Christmas to give her a massage, Tina. So I think that's what we'll do with it, right? Hey, yo, but seriously, thank you so much. That means a ton. I am happy that you were able to catch that trade, but you're the one out there taking the risk. You're the one pushing the button. So at the end of the day, you can say thank you to me, but at the end of the day, thank yourself, right? Go look in the mirror, give yourself a high five, and be like, hey, good trade. Now you can go have a Merry Christmas. Even a more Merry Christmas than you probably were already going to have. I thought Meta was the setup. Did I miss it? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. This is just the initial curl up of the 2-hour. Now the 30-minute was technically the setup on this bar right here. So the point to all of this is you're never going to be able to take all of your risk out of any trade. There's always going to be risk in any trade. So when the 30-minute does cross up, this is a sign that the 2-hour is going to cross. It has a high probability to cross, and you have made a great base. So this is the reason that you have 3 to 5 reasons behind a trade, is to build confidence in your trade, is to build reasons for it so that it can head to the upside, right? So what I want to do is I want to go, okay, this is the risky time to take the trade, but it's the right time to take the trade. Okay, now, does this mean this is bad timing? No, it's a little bit worse than over here. You could experience a 30-minute pullback or something like that. But if this 2-hour can confirm up here, you just have a simple 2-hour move to the upside, and then you want to pay attention because that is negative. So this is where swing trading can get a little bit riskier, is when it's negative. So now it's a little bit more risky. Before, it was good. Now it's a little risky, but you're looking for that extended move up towards 618. Holy crap, though, Tina. I'm sorry, I just $50. My goodness, thank you so much. I'm putting it all in calls on AMC for next week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna buy my wife a massage. She really needs one. Our daughter is. She's a very smart girl, but my goodness, you're like, I'm thankful she's smart, but sometimes I wish she was a little more dumb. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. So yeah, that's how I treat it. Now, if you're swing trading, it's a lot different, right? Swing trading is more like, hey, I see a 2-hour curl up. Okay, as long as that remains above these moving averages, I'm good. If it starts to lose the 9, if it starts to lose the 20, that's when I think about getting rid of that. So a lot of swing trading is you're not necessarily selling a top, you're more selling the downward momentum when you're swing trading. But what I would just say is this is a great target. 617 to 618 is a great target for this. If you get that move up, hey, that would be fantastic. But just note, that's why we teach people how to do it early, right? We want to get in, it's kind of like putting swing trading and divergence trading, position trading together, right? So we're able to get in here, and the most probable thing is that this is going to cross. Well, what do we notice? Well, and 2 hours later, that's or a day later, that's starting to cross. So that's what that signal was telling us. One thing I do want to look at is I'm going to be looking at the yields a lot. We're noticing the PCC starting to drop down. We did have that major move. I think it was June. Remember when that huge spike came in June? That was crazy. This one was crazy too. And then that's probably the September one you're paying attention to. Now look at volatility though. That thing is not producing any kind of 2-hour curl up. You see how it doesn't work every time. There's a 30-minute divergence here and it's not performing. Now, was this a trade to get into? That's what we're going to break down right now. Let's see if volatility fully gave the trade to get into. Well, you would say if this bar is crossed up, you potentially could see it. But is this really a good enough bar for you to be convinced? We'll see. That's where it's just kind of a gut thing. But this would suggest, hey, that's a positive bar. I can take it. If the 15-minute starts to roll, I can be out. And you'll notice what's the 15-minute doing now. So there's no reason at this exact moment most likely to take puts while everyone's flying to the put side. Very interesting. But if the 15-minute would do this, then those people might be right. Right? If it would do this very quickly, those people might be right. But it means let me manage my risk, see if this comes down, see if it turns back up, and then I can make a decision again. I would just say trying to short during Christmas time is very difficult. That's why I'm looking for the crash signals, not just like a one signal. That's why the video last night, if you look at the thumbnail, it says there's 5 bullish signals and 1 kind of bearish one. So it's like, which one is more likely then? Well, we're probably going to see a little bit of bullishness going forward. We'll see how those look by the end of the day because things can change every single day. Is BlackBerry forming a flag? I'm interested. MSTR, we can look at that as well. 2 hours way up there. Is the daily forming a flag? Is BlackBerry forming a flag on the daily? There is no flag here on the daily at all. Flagging, you're more looking for this, right? You're looking for these little moments in here, little moments in here. And so this likes to pop up on 2-hour charts. That's why we pay attention to them. That's why if you go look at a 2-hour, what happens? Pink, and notice it's at the 5. So I will make sure to get that video uploaded on the course. Remember guys, the course is up for that Christmas and New Year's sale. If you can't get it right now, maybe you could get it in a couple of days for the weekend. But yeah, it's going to be our best sale. It's back down to the $100, and we're only doing the $100 sale during Christmas time, during the new year. Merry Christmas. The course, if you want to get both of them, you want to know how to swing trade and how to do the full technical analysis, aka learn about divergence, learn about these, learn everything that I do on this channel, and it will help you out during the live videos so you can understand a little bit better. It's only $150 for both courses, but you could only get the full technical analysis if that's all you want. If you only want to swing trade, hey, that's $50, right? The full technical analysis is $100 right now. But the links are down there in the description. So very good move. It's not necessarily flagging. So what are we looking for an opportunity? Well, we're looking for one of those moments, right? We're looking for these moments. Maybe we want to look for a 30-minute because that just keeps getting close to the center line. Boop. close to the center line. Boop. It's just the move is so rapid to the upside. I hope you didn't get out of Tesla. It's going to the moon. Well, Tesla, this is a great sign. And you're getting, so this is where like swing trading, right? Someone just asked, Willow asked about the course a little bit. Well, swing trading will help you here. And this is a decision time, right? You have two indications that this is good. The lagging indicator is a little behind, just so you know. The MACD does lag behind. That's why in the swing trading course, we talk about making a decision with only 2 check marks, right? We talk about that a lot. I still have 901 shares of Tesla. One thing I would just tell you, Tina, is if this is a great move like this and we do some upward move and then that starts to fail, but I think Tesla has the opportunity to be bullish for a long time. I think that even if you get a daily pullback, we could see another move upward, and that's pretty crazy. But that could be and then we go back to the upside, right? This could be a left shoulder in the future, and it would be a great left shoulder. Right? If we really think about this, it's like, oh, everyone, Christmas rally. Oh, shit. Or we do something like this. That would be great. I kind of want Tesla to go nuts. I think that'd be fun. Tesla's been going nuts for a while. Vegas out today, look at a short MSTR. Yeah, let's go check on MSTR. I think you have the exact same look right now, Pax. I think you have it. I think it's even sped up a little bit, but that doesn't mean you can't crash down if everything else crashes down, right? We want to pay attention to the risk. We don't want to think, hey, it has to play out the same, but you have a I'll show you AMC in a second, Pax. And the reason I'll show AMC is just because it means GME holding up at higher levels right now is good. Much different look from the VIX. Yeah, I'll go check on it on my other charts in a second. But for this here, MSTR, this is a 30-minute higher low, and that is confirming. So this suggests that it can get upside. And the thing with this is, technically, you are seeing some, I would say, tapering, right? If we were going to keep heading in a downward pattern, well, now this flagging really gets you to go sideways, and now you're just looking a little bit more like this. And you're in an area where you would probably like to bounce from. So we'll pay attention to it. We'll look at that 30-minute looking like a higher low and the 2-hour trying to cross, which means a good move can come from this. But I want to look at the daily and just say, hey, when that daily crosses, MSTR might go nuts, which means Bitcoin, right? If I know that MSTR, if Bitcoin goes up, MSTR probably goes up. If Bitcoin goes down, MSTR will go way, way freaking down. Okay? Just be aware of that. I'm not going to ever put a penny into this. You guys know why. But if this just crosses up, you have a daily signal that's good here. So if Bitcoin goes up, then this goes up. And this is by the center line. So if I want to think critically here, I would say if Bitcoin has a good signal, then potentially that means good things for MSTR. Now, MSTR, again, even if Bitcoin goes up, it might not be safe from if there is a big downturn, so just be aware of the risk. But we have a great base here for Bitcoin. This is what I was talking about right away in the beginning of the day, and now we're seeing even more upside. We confirmed this yesterday, not the best confirmation, so I waited a little bit. I only put it on Twitter because it wasn't the best confirmation. I just said, hey, Bitcoin's trying to form a strong base. That would suggest a Christmas rally is likely. Double bottom down here, divergence at the low, divergence on the RSI and MACD. Okay, awesome. That is curling up now above the 5, which means this daily has the opportunity to cross back up. If that daily crosses back up, what do you think MSTR is going to do? Really hope Tesla comes out with a cell phone and XPay. I kind of want X email. My data is definitely sold everywhere through my email, and I highly dislike that. Very annoying. XPay, X cell phone. And I think if he just, I think something that will become huge, and I've talked about this with my wife, is we've given up a lot of our freedom due to convenience. And I think something that would be a very interesting culture shift is if serious privacy comes back, where we only get items that focus on privacy. So I actually think if Twitter, or not Twitter, if X actually made phones that did not get your data, if X made phones that did not really violate your privacy, I think that would be a huge, huge thing that people would really like. I would buy it immediately. I would have to read into it. I'd read terms of service. I have been reading those lately. Kind of sketchy stuff there, but Just be aware of digital content that you're buying, guys, and read the terms of service anytime you buy anything digitally. Like, I buy movies on YouTube. I technically, due to the terms of service of how to buy movies on YouTube, I do not own those movies. That's how digital things work now. Those video games that you buy and you download to your Xbox, technically in the terms of service, you do not own those video games. Pretty crazy. Skins you buy, anything you buy online, you got to be watching out for that. Now, what does this mean? Because let's look at the daily scale and think about this a little differently. We went to bottom Bollinger. Where's the big test when you go to bottom Bollinger or top Bollinger? Top Bollinger, you react to the 20, and then you can head to the upside again if you're able to stabilize. Look, we weren't able to stabilize at all at the 20 here. But something we are able to do is stabilize a little bit here, and now we're getting that reaction to the 20. So this is actually where we should really be paying attention to two things. Are we going to break through this, or is this going to hold as resistance? This is very important. Good morning, Reese. How you doing? So sweet. What's your opinion? Right now, we won't. All right. I love the emojis. Oh God, that's what I'm gonna do. By the way, I'm gonna get my wife to finish the emotes for you guys in chat. I'm gonna try my best. I'm really trying to figure out a schedule where I can go live for like a membership live, where you can come in and then members will get emotes and things like that. That way you guys have bearish and bullish emotes and things. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Happy Christmas Eve. Do you think GME will break 32 today? Let me check. Let me check some things and then we'll give an answer to that in a second. This thing's not wanting to frickin' do anything. Okay. For GME, there's a couple of things going on here, guys. Okay, there's a couple of things going on here. I know everyone's going to be excited about this. I'm going to be the guy that says it because I really want to display good behavior as a trader, even in a stock like GameStop. Whether you like it or not, momentum will show you the signals. People don't believe that. People think technical analysis is bull and all that when it comes to GME and AMC especially. Well, then tell me how we caught the bottom right here using a 2-hour divergence and using the daily cross-up, right? Tell me how we caught the drop here with that divergence at the high and then it dropped back down to the 20 and we touched top Bollinger. Whether you like it or not, you have to be paying attention to technicals here. It can help you in knowing if this has a chance to go higher. Right now, you have that chance. Actually, is that green yesterday? That was green yesterday. Yesterday, this crossed up. Damn, I can't believe I missed that. So yesterday, you actually crossed up, meaning daily momentum is with you, 2-hour momentum with you, 30-minute momentum with you. This is fantastic. But there's one thing you have to be aware of. What if this fails? If this fails on the daily scale, that's a divergence, and it's very steep. So you want this to be the opportunity right now. It doesn't mean I sell everything. No, this is the best it can look right now. But I have to be aware of the risk. And that's how I save myself in the long-term trading, right? If I be open to the bearishness, just open to it and be ready to react if it confirms down. It will save me over time. Do we have signals that suggest that that can happen? Well, you're starting to make a potential for divergence on the 2-hour. So the real answer is, yeah, you do. So you have to, if you're aware of these, you start to become a critical thinker about when to take opportunity with GME. And you start to be a critical thinker of when the opportunity is not there anymore. Now, what I like to do, because this is a crazy stock, is every single month, I like to take trades in the market, and then I put those trades towards the end of the month. I buy an option for AMC at the end of every single month, and then I just hold GME and AMC, the stock. So the reason that I do that is because, one, just in case momentum doesn't catch it and we just see a random gap up like we did. Because one of the times when this did happen, you actually saw the 30-minute curl down, then it gapped up by about $5 or $4, and then it just started going. So what I want to be aware of is, hey, how can I be positioned like that? Well, if I make money with trading in the market, then it's pretty much, hey, okay, I earned that money. Now I can fund those calls for the end of the month very easy, and I can just hold on to the stock and not worry about it. But if I was someone who was saying, hey, how is GameStop going to crash down? It's going to be if this crosses back down on the daily MACD. But how does GameStop see a rapid move to the upside? If it crosses up, to into positive territory here, you're not even overbought or anything like that. That is when you have an opportunity to see major upside. And that's fantastic because you have that signal right now. So right now we should be paying attention to this. If it does this, we want to start to pay attention to, oh, more downside. That's how this works, right? This is being reactionary. This is not being some, like I see some technical analysis all the time on Twitter, all the time on YouTube, and I like to click into it to see how much these people really know when talking about AMC or GME. And pretty much they just say it's bullish all the time, which is fine. Like it's fine, but it's not on the technical side, right? So the reason that I think this could be a good opportunity right now is because if AMC can catch a bid here, you have the exact same signals as the last time the moment happened. All right, the last time the moment happened, you had a daily divergence where you went positive, then you curled back down, you made a divergence, and that ended up being the moment just a few days later. I think it was about a week later. I think it was 5 trading sessions later on a Monday or Tuesday, this thing started to rip. So that's what I'm paying attention to because we have the same look. Doesn't have to play out the same, and it can still be building a strong base. That's why we're paying attention to the 2 hour. We're paying attention to a 30-minute. If the 2 hour does this, and then does this, hey, that's a strong base. But if it does this and keeps going, that's bad. So you want to be more reactionary here. It will be a good price at the end of the day. Now we will notice this, and we talked about it last time. This could be like some kind of slanted cup and handle in some way. So we're looking for that 30-minute to turn up. That would be great. If not, the 30-minute might drop down and then give you that 2 hour signal later on, right? So we're just treating it how we should. We're looking at momentum. We're not just, I'm not going to be the guy. I can't do it, guys. I'm trying to show you guys how to really think about markets, and to just say that something is bullish at all times is not the best way to be a trader. And that's why I think a lot of people have lost money with AMC and GME over the last few months. Even though you've seen me sometimes, I see a good move from AMC and I sell all my options because I see a 30-minute divergence and I make, sometimes it goes up by 300%. I get to make that money, and then I go, okay, let me wait for a good signal. Okay, now I'll buy the calls for a month out. Maybe I'll just buy a little bit more stock, right? The more you're able to calm down and think of things and give yourself that 1% chance of being wrong, the better positions you're going to be able to get, the more shares you're going to be able to get. At least that's how I see it. $2, Micron. Let's go look at Micron for Short Fridays real quick. Thank you so much for the $2 and the $10 from Short Fridays. I'll read that one right after, okay? Let's go look at MU. Micron. Very, very good. There's a problem here, which is you experienced a big drop. What do you do after big drops a lot of the time, Short Fridays, right? You end up going to retest the 5. You can take back the 5. Awesome. Maybe you're ending up going like this over time, but you're not. You're trying to go positive right now. That 5 is starting to catch up. The better look for this, if we have support in here, we do. This is great. If you can do this and confirm this as a strong base, you have a 2 hour move higher. But that's a big drop, so let me look at that 2 hour. 2 hours pretty negative. 2 hours pretty damn negative. Notice the last time, look at all this price action it took to make that 2 hour come back up, right? This might be 4 hour divergence. You had 2 hour RSI divergences all across this to get that big move. Do you have that now? No. So even if we do this and then the 2 hour pops up, you can reject and then make a stronger base on the 2 hour later on. And those are the things I'd be paying attention to. You're looking to build a strong base. If this is just going to make a move to the upside, hey, you want to see at least a daily curl, right? This is a very big drop. I think you have the opportunity to retest a breakdown area if you can make a decent base here. Short Fridays with the $10. Thank you so much. 8 months ago, Devin Nunez went on the Low Dobbs show and said he would be tackling naked short selling and in particular DJT stock. We'll see if this happens early on. Well, then let's go look at DJT and see what is happening with it, because the last time I looked at it, it had 2-hour divergence, and look what happened. So this is proof that this is a short seller stock, right? Major short seller problem. We pointed out the 2-hour divergence. Everyone else saying, yeah, this is going to pop up. I said this was potentially going to pop up when this crossed. I did not say that when this crossed down. I said, no, this is probably heading to the downside. Now, what do we notice? The 2 hours trying to curl up here. Do we have a good 30-minute signal? That's what I'm wondering. Well, at this moment, you don't have it on the MACD, and you don't have it on the RSI. So what do I need to be paying attention to? Well, just in case this needs to reload. So now I can pay attention to the 2-hour swing if that's just going to head to the upside, or I can pay attention to a higher low, a divergence here for DJT to build this as a strong base, get towards that center line a little bit closer, and then see the curl up. And that's why a lot of the time I say, yeah, I would love to see this sell down, because that'll be a better price, because when you swing, that premium and calls might be already ticking up. But when you dip down, that means, oh, everyone's going to the put side, then you swing up. That's when stuff gets cheap, and that's why I like that. Yo, thank you for bringing that to our attention, and I'll have to look at that talk, see what they said about it. But I think you have a chance in 2025 where you're going to see multiple forms of corruption come to light. The thing is, I do have some thoughts on how that's going to affect the market, the economy in general. It will be seen as a economic downturn, most likely, if the, you would say, Doge program, right, whatever it is. If the Doge department does actually do what they're saying, it's going to cause a lot of freaking problems, and I think they're underestimating what that can be. So I'm still going to look for bailouts. If this all comes tumbling down, I still will look for bailouts, because even though you love Donald Trump, right? I'm sure some people out there love Donald Trump, and that's perfectly fine. And if you loved Kamala, that's perfectly fine. Who cares? At the end of the day, just do what's best for your family. But something you have to understand about Donald Trump is, back in 2018, he still wanted a strong economy. He still added to the debt. He still acted in that way like other presidents. And he forced Jerome Powell to cut the rates pretty much. He like made him cut the rates so that the economy would be better, right? He made the interest rates have to go down, which that plus COVID. So that's what you're dealing with right now. You're dealing with that. So we extended it to where inflation was still growing at 2%. You're dealing with COVID, which caused inflation to go up. But the biggest thing was the PPP loans and everything going on right now with the spending after COVID. After that money pumping came in, that's what really happened. So you're in a time where inflation is going up dramatically, and if they do all these things, that can really, really affect the market. And I think they're underestimating it. So I'm paying attention if there's going to be a bailout. And weirdly enough, you see that they just passed some laws right now, I think in other countries, that said, hey, if you get bailed out, you don't have to tell anyone you'll get bailed out. We're not going to put out that information. So you could see Bank of America technically like crash down to oblivion and then rocket right back up, and they don't have to say anything. Am I back in the oil play? Actually, I haven't been paying attention to oil. Let me go look at USO. Yeah, that was the base I was kind of looking for here. 2-hour crossing up. It's on a gap. Let's see, potential inflation play. And that's kind of the thing here, is the yields are going to start to come down. So while the yields are high, we would expect oil and things like that to suffer a little bit more. But as those do start to come down, that's when these things might catch a bid. So I'd be paying attention. Maybe even gold starts to catch a bid here. We'll see. But we need these things to confirm with the yields first. Yeah, this is not even close to confirming yet. PCC down to 1.19. Yeah, you're taking back 5-day. This is extremely bullish. This has crossed up for a while. Is the daily close? Yeah, daily's by the center line. I think, you know, I said this, I think like a week ago when we saw this sell-off. And I said, we're probably going to see a new all-time high in January. GME actually already crossed up on mine. I don't know if you have different settings, but GME did cross up on the... That's DJT. Why did GME did cross up yesterday, and now you're looking for, hey, can we, this is the signal you're looking for right now. But be aware of how it can change. It's going to change, then you have to change, right? Being adaptable is a very good thing. Xena, I know we looked at this yesterday a little bit. There's not enough price action in here to really make a good decision. Look at the daily chart. This could fall, this could go up, right? This could be cup and handle, but I would assume that they are not liking this thing popping off, and that's why you're seeing the major wicks come in. If this was a really, really bullish move, then it would have reloaded and been able to trickle up over time. These are sporadic moves that they're fighting. There's just not enough on the technical side to really tell you anything nice here. I would just say if that 2 hour crosses down bad, right now it looks better, right? That's how I'd be treating it. So I could look for these 2 hour pullbacks, see a decent move, try for it, but you'll notice that it's just not playing out. So not a ton of technicals to really do here. Okay, and so now we want to look on the shorter time frames. What could we do to save ourselves? And that would be if the 2 hour crosses down, that'd be bad. If it curls back up, good. Yeah, I'm sorry to say it, Lucas. It's just too hard to for me to do it with that low amount of price action in those big wicks. How do we decide what is a good time to sell, such as Tesla and things like that? Well, you can use stuff, if you're just taking the swing trading, you can more pay attention to how a lot of swing traders do it, which is closing below a moving average that you like. Some people do it below the 5-day moving average, even on a shorter chart. So they would say, hey, this 2 hour crossed up. That's the swing right here. Okay, awesome. We took back 5-day. If I lose 5-day, I'm out, right? They would want this 5-day to go like this. And then you see a closing below that and they go, okay, I'm out. That's some people. I do it a little bit differently. I like 9-day and 20-day sometimes. But for the most part here, something you can use when you advance yourself up, right? Get your learning going a little bit more. The more you know, the better you can do as a trader if you understand it. And that's where it goes like this. Well, if I'm going to wait for that 5-day to cross or something like that, what if this just goes like this? Well, that's a weekly expected move. So that's where it can tell you, hey, I can take a lot off the table anywhere above or at this purple line. And that's where your 68% chance is to go down. So that's something that I do pretty often when swing trading. Yeah, Lucas, I wish I could do more for you. I really do. Dollar rising. Yeah, dollar rising. So the thing with the dollar we're paying attention to, 1, 2 hours dropping down, right? But the daily dropping down is the main thing. And then in the opposite direction, everyone's happy. It's Christmas time, but this is crossing up on a monthly chart. So we have to be paying attention to that. This is why I'm saying we kind of need a Christmas rally to buy some time, because you're confirming this and it's in positive territory. So that can mean selling can come in at any time. Hopefully you guys watched the videos over the weekend where we talked about these points a little bit. I just want you to notice that monthly is curling up. Yeah, Suri, and once you take, literally, it just unlocks you when you have the 20 minutes of me explaining it a little bit better. Just doing it on the fly, obviously. I started off swing trading all the time. That's all I did all the time, and it was very, very good, but you're in a different style of market now than, say, 2020 to 2021, right? That was some of the best swing trades of my damn life. Meanwhile, now you're going into this period of time where it's like, okay, swing trading is going to get a little bit tougher. All right, let's go look at, let's go see what Nvidia's doing, because it did hit our 141, and this is kind of what I'm talking about as far as swing trading goes, Suri. Do you know what's right up here is a weekly expected move. So even if I was doing a 2 hour swing and I'm still above the 5, you notice I would lose a lot of money if I had to wait for this to cross back below the 5-day or even the 9 on my shorter time frame, right? So that would be a little bit less money for me to take. So what do? Well, I like to see those sporadic moves by unlocking that info, by learning more about weekly ranges. I can go, hey, where did this get to? Well, it got to a high of 141.90. Do you know where the weekly expected move is? It's Christmas time, I'll tell you. It's right at 141.50-ish. 141.50. So that would tell me, hey, I can take some off the table. I can leave a couple of runners in case we experience a squeeze. That's how I like to do things. Rug pull incoming. It's It's always possible. We're aware of the risk. From what I am seeing, I have a daily divergence on the dollar. I have a 2-hour divergence on the yield saying they're going to back off, and I have IWM and DIA that haven't fully started to participate. If these start to participate, you're probably not getting a rug pull. You could get a 30-minute pullback or something, but unless you see 2 hours confirming back down, it's most likely not a big, massive rug pull. It might just be a 30-minute little something. Baby girl crying. Yo, I'm hot. Tesla, I actually was about to click on it. That's funny. Still waiting for the swing. You have 2 of the signals. You have 2. 3 is usually when it's the best, but if you're good at managing risk, if you're very tight with managing risk, the thing is, here's the other thing about managing risk. If I know that I am taking this before this crosses up because I have 2 reasons to take the trade, not 3, then wouldn't I just manage risk for the day and see if that positivity continues? And if it continues, I can feel safer, and then I can maybe walk away from my computer and see if a sell signal pops up, or maybe we hit a weekly expected move, right? That's all I do, right? Think very calmly. Hey, I took this before it crossed up. Okay, so I probably want to manage risk. I probably wouldn't like if this 30-minute crossed down. Right, now let's look at the 15-minute. Be like, would I like if that crossed down? Well, that's pretty positive at this moment, so maybe I don't mind that as much. But if I cross down and maybe lose this low here, and then that 30 minutes crossing, then I can make a decision. Does that make sense? Sweet. Yeah, that's why it's called risk and reward, and that we talk about that with GME a lot of the time in AMC. If you understand positioning, and you understand your position size risk or management, if you understand risk management in general, then GME and AMC, you really should understand that very simply if you're just buying the stock. Now, options, you got to be paying attention to risk to reward, every single day. Fact of the day for Tesla: has a market cap of 1.4 trillion, exceeding the entire auto sector. It trades at over 100 times its forward earnings, driven by investor excitement in self-driving tech progress. Ooh. Metacross on the 2-hour, that's the one I was really looking for. Thank you for paying attention to it for me. Notice the 30-minute didn't cross here. If the 30-minute crossed here, bad, right? It's still close to that center line. That would be a management of risk. But look how good it is, and now you're curling up on a 2-hour. Now that 30 minutes getting high up enough that you can get a good move here. Right, even if this 30 minutes started, or sorry, that was a 15, which actually is a 30-minute divergence, so 15 made sense to look at. But look, the 15 minutes higher now, so even if the 15-minute backed off, it could use 598.41 as support. We buy it because he's handsome. Let me try to put my gaydar on real quick and be like, no, I don't think I find Elon Musk attractive. I like Elon because I think he's, I don't know, is it proven? But he's slightly autistic maybe, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's the guy. He's gonna do everything right. My family has like a few people with autism, and they are so skilled at certain things. It is insane. It is nuts. I had a I guess it's like a second cousin or something, but I watched him build like a high-end train setup in like an hour, and I was just baffled. I was baffled. I was like, my goodness, man, I hope you work in some kind of like tech in some way. Yes, he has Asperger's. Okay, that does make sense. But that means he might be really good at something. It's cool to see that type of stuff and see those type of kids grow. Clever one, yeah. I actually don't know the difference fully. AMC, not crossing down. GME, not crossing down. FFIE. Oh, the fake out move. You think I sold this? Psh, psh, psh. Actually, I need to check the short seller theory on FFIE. Oh, that's really it? Okay. SBUC's moving, swing, swing, swing. Let's go check on it again real quick. And then I gotta pull up some stuff on my other charts. Damn, great. 30-minute divergences here, starting to prove himself. Here's that 2-hour move. And that's a strong move, so I wanna see time in the past. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Look at the strong moves you get here. And then it still needed to reload. And that's to make a stronger base, because look how deep you are into negative territory. And you're at similar, actually you're lower, right? So doing something like this, then coming back down for all these higher lows, I would just be prepared for that. I understand you're probably just hoping, hey, this is a rip, but if you're managing risk and you understand that, it should be okay. I think 9109 is the first level I'm paying attention to for this one. Great move. My goodness. Good catch, Justin. Good catch. You're paying attention to these 30-minute signals, hopefully, because that would have got you in. Not here, not here, not here. Right here, actually. 8705. That's when I have all the reasons the most. Here I have a few reasons, right? Even right here I have a few reasons. But here I have all the reasons. Great move. I hope you caught it. Hope you have a good timing on it. Got in 2 days ago. Nice. I wish I was. Don't grass is always greener, guys. You're not perfect the way you are, but you are the most unique of yourself, which is fantastic because you can do things differently. You don't understand. If you really put your mind to it and you really think about it and you find out what you're good at, you find out what you suck at, you focus on what you're good at, you might be able to excel in maybe even 3 or 4 things in life. I was able to excel in a few things, but it always led to injury, COVID, and Lulu Cross. Let's go check out something different for a second. Oh, shoot. I got to look at something real quick. But Lulu, 2-hour, crossed a little bit ago. That's good, right? And it even reloaded with the cross. So I like those types too. It is negative, so we're still paying attention to lower high. BTC at 98K. Perfect. 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 Great base. Great freaking base. You even had it on a 2-hour, by the way. If you wanted the great buy, was actually right here, 94.279. IWM moving slowly. Let's go check Tina. Slow. I'm dead serious. I mean, I think IWM should pop because this thing's been beat up and it's at the 200. You have a lot more reasons for this one to pop in a sporadic move. It doesn't mean a lower high isn't something we're paying attention to. Look at the positioning of the MACD. But I'm just saying there's a 200 here. You've made a decent 30-minute base, and then you could just rip. I'm still looking for that tag of 46.97. But if you can retake this, that would be solid, and then we'd look for that high again, maybe. My intuition on Nike is, well, my first and my initial thing about Nike always is Meet Kevin made people lose a lot of money with this guy. But my next thing is if the daily can curl up, look how good that looks. You have built so much in here. So much that a little bit of patience can go a long, long, long way. Okay, if this can cross up like this, look, 77.46, that's our line from the past, and bam, we cross up through that. You cross up into positive territory, boom, we have a sell zone above you starting at around 82.50. He's just one of those guys that got popular because he happened to buy stocks in the COVID crash when the money pumping was happening, which is a smart decision. But when he does technicals, I'm like, this guy doesn't know anything. He doesn't have to. He already has the He already has a big channel. He doesn't really have to. Broadcom? Broadcom, I've been watching it for a while now with taking any plays. It seems extremely volatile and huge swings. Seems like a good RGTI I do like. Sorry, I just saw that. My ADHD kicked in. Seems like a good place to potentially time it. Is that QCOM? Wait, Qualcomm or Broadcom? No, I'm looking at Qualcomm, aren't I? Wait, what's the ticker for Broadcom again? My brain's blanking. Because I do want to look at it. But yeah, Nike, it's pretty simple. I think, oh yeah, that's right. It is the AVGO. Okay. So AVGO, very important to understand the daily is way up there, okay? Way up there. And so what we want to pay attention to is this is probably a 2-hour move down. Is it negative? No. So this means another move higher for the 2-hour can come. Now you have all of the signals as of this bar except for the MACD. Now you really want that confirmation. So what I'd just be paying attention to is if we reach down on the 30-minute for a moment, right? It's still looking pretty controlled is the problem here. So the reason that you're probably a little bit hesitant is because you're seeing what I'm seeing, which is a slow move up with some big dips, right? But overall, very controlled. So you want to pay attention if that 30-minute rotates down. Now that doesn't mean it's dead. It could just mean, hey, it needs to back off for a second and then reload. And wouldn't you like the reload? Because that would actually curl up your 2-hour. The other thing is just if the 2-hour can cross up, but I think this is a it's a good move. Like you can't say it's not a good move, but it's a lackluster controlled move at this point. So I'm a little bit hesitant on it at this moment. If the 2-hour would get a strong confirmation, like it is now, it's a strong confirmation. It's just very controlled, I feel like, in this way. So I'd maybe wait for the confirmation on the MACD in some way. And it might not be that bad. Like all I'm talking about is just like, hey, if this can go down like this and then go back up, it might look better. Good monthly uptrend broke out. Let's check a monthly chart as well. Great breakout. Oh, my chat just went away. I can't see you guys. I can't see you guys. What happened to my chat? No. Someone subscribe so I know you guys are still here. Yeah, it's just way high up there, so the daily's high up there. I think your 2-hour move can take you higher, but I'd be watching out for this, for the daily pullback. Yeah, if that 2-hour reject, if the 30-minute curls down bad, if the 2-hour can turn up, good for now. But this is where I'd be like, okay, I gotta make a weekly expected move. Then if that curls up, okay, and then I know where the risk is. I'm gonna have to pull up my stream real quick. Good, go live. Let me make sure you guys are still here. I just don't use log very often. No, I'll use it sometimes on macro scales, like for big trends. Okay, I think I see you guys. Can you guys hear me? We'll always be with you, brother. That makes me feel safe. I feel so safe. All right, cool. Yeah, log scale can help sometimes, but I want to stick with what's worked for me for a long time, and then at certain points I can probably pull up log scale, right? I don't want to be not seeing something in something I use 99% of the time and then using something 1% of the time to convince me something is there, if that makes sense. So yeah, if that works for you, Reese, I'm not gonna hate on you, right? If you're different than me, there's a million different ways to do this stuff. Let me see if it fixed yet. Nope, it didn't fix. So I'll leave you guys up on, I have to pull up my YouTube here. There we go. How many likes we got? 52? Oh, come on, guys. 100, 100, 100 for Christmas. Yo, I do want to say this live. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been fantastic at trying to get me to 10K by the end of the year. I saw those, like, you know, we talked about it, I think like a month ago, and I just saw an increase of like 10% in the likes, and that was enough to help out these videos to get to more people, and people saw it as helpful, so they subscribed. So thank you so much for trying to get me to 10K by Christmas. Hey, we still got a day left. Maybe it's able to happen. Exactly, Reese, and I think that's great. That's great for you. I'm happy for you that you found something that works for you. You know what I mean? It just means like sometimes me and you might differ on things because it's going to look different on my chart. Yeah, so I don't mind the 2-hour curl up here though. Yes, I do that a lot, Cuckoo. What I'm trying to do a lot of the time with a trade, say with Nvidia, this is how I mentally think about a trade. I go, okay, I want to buy this, like here. Let's say right here I wanted to buy this. And I go, how high do I think it could go? Well, I thought 140, 112, right? 140, 112, 140, 150. All right, awesome. So I go, at what point do these become more valuable to someone else? Would someone else find them more valuable in some way? Well, maybe here I would go, hey, maybe I can just buy at 141. Maybe I can buy those contracts. And then when we get up there, it's not necessarily that I'm trying to get past it. And this is just some stuff, like sometimes, right? Sometimes you just buy at this level because it's cheap and it's fine. And then you just make the money on the way up and you're in the money. That's great. But sometimes I go, okay, let me take this out here. And then when it goes like this, people will see this level as valuable and I can sell it to them. And then maybe they can make some money on the play, or I can reach that level and then obviously it's more valuable. That's kind of all I think about it. Where is this stock going to go, and what option pricing could I take in order to see more value later that someone would like? Tesla's going to 1,000. But yeah, managing risk would be, hey, selling the position. And that's where you want to go. Like, that's why you don't want to go like, oh, 170, 150, one this. Because this move could go all the way up to here and there still could be no buyers at 150. Right? So I don't want to do it too far. I could see Tesla doing some. Tesla curled up on a monthly, if you remember. Yeah, DT. I think you have that opportunity. I don't know if it's going to be safe from what's coming in 2025, but it is suggesting subscribe. Oh yeah, it's making me a trillionaire. Hey, because of the donations today, I actually made money streaming alone. Right? Usually I only make like $3 streaming, so I like it, guys. Get my wife a massage. That's what I'm going to do with that today. So thank you. Then Luke will buy Tesla to 1,000. Yes, I will do that. I will pump and dump everything and just send you guys a decoded message to tell you which one it is. I'll be Roaring Kitty. No. All right, now someone's saying, hey, let's go check on the SPY, and I think that's good to do. SPY running into the daily expected move. Ooh, going past it. Q's past it. So where are we targeting now? The weekly. Where are we targeting now? The weekly. And as IWM starts to catch up, this is going to add up to, we're probably going to squeeze. Now, we want to understand, what were we talking about early on in the week? Right here. We're exactly in the area where you can start to break down. A little bit higher is exactly where I want to get to, because that's my breakdown, right? A little bit above this purple line is my breakdown area. So we're past the daily, and that's great. People are still on the put side. People still at point of one. Now that's come down dramatically. But SPY 2 hour curled up, so we should assume positivity. If we're gonna throw up for whatever reason, I just have a hard time thinking that's possible at this point. We got rid of the one bearish signal that I was paying attention to, the 30-minute here, right? We got rid of that. So even if we see volatility go up, just understand, yeah, we can react to it, but if you're not seeing those bigger confirmations, I want you to see the RSI, right? We are down below the first divergence point, which means, hey, we can see a pop in volatility, and you might see this RSI look a little bit like this later, but that would be more what I'd pay attention to. It means bullishness is very, very probable. Does anyone trade volume? I don't trade volume necessarily. I will more look for if volume's contracting, yes. But I'm not using volume as a big reason to take the trade. It can be something if I need that little extra convincing. If I'm a little bit skeptical about something, I'm like, let me check the volume. Is that descending here? Is that really kind of getting tight down? Okay, we just saw we saw another dip down on very light volume. and then you see a green bar start and you go, okay, there's all my confirmations. Let's go. Let me pay attention to volume. Oh, volume's kicking up. Okay, so we're going to see a volume kick up here. That's the only thing I really use it for. Right? So I mean, you can turn it on sometimes and just be like, all right, cool. Right? Like volume really came down, and then we saw a great green bar that took out these two levels here, and then you're seeing volume low, volume low, volume low. Now volume, what's it doing? Well, it's high up and it's coming down, so we might want to pay attention to our sell zone a little bit here. That's kind of the only thing I really try to read into with volume. I can tell you this though, in a bear market, I didn't have to pay attention to volume once, and it was the most profitable 3 months, I think, when I really started to trade that bear market. I think it was the most profitable 3 months I've ever had in my trading history. Is there such a thing as power hour when the market closes early, or that normally trading hours? No, I think it would still be, I think there still could potentially be a power hour. But I think you would more so look at it the same and just say, hey, we're going to see some weird stuff, but I would still be paying attention to the end of the day, because that's where, if big players are trading, they're going to make their trades at the end of the day. So, right, most big boys with big money, they like to stay out of the retail hour, right? Out of the retail hours. Then we start to get to, hey, 11 lunchtime, then we trickle up, then we get down to this area, and boom, look at the buys come in at the end of the day. Bam, right there. Yeah, I know. Someone had me look at this, and I was like, wow, that's an actual stock. Now, if you look at the 30-minute, you're not liking this, right? You're getting pretty tight in here. Hey, you got saved once. That's great. Still very bullish. A lot of things looking very bullish. But, I mean, if that 2 hour crosses, you're going to get a daily pullback here. Yeah, you're most likely going to see this pullback on the daily scale soon, if those little time frames confirm. If we just keep going straight up, okay, awesome. But you have a 30-minute signal that's trying to confirm. Not necessarily, maybe we need to lose the 5. I'd really like the 2 hour to turn down here to really convince me, hey, a bigger pullback and maybe a rotation up is coming, or maybe even a daily pullback is coming. Oh, it was you? I'm pairing FVG and VWAP. Okay. Okay. I'm interested. Like everyone, when they say like what they use, I'm always so interested. I am, because I've used things like that before. I used to use volume profile a lot. I used to use VWAP, but once I start to just formulate something that works for me, that's what I stick to. But that's awesome. I love hearing how there's so many different ways to do this stuff. All right, so the SPY's starting to pull down now. Right, we're in the danger area. Anyone know? I don't know, man. Let me think. Do you have a child to sell? But it's mostly volume that displays the direction for me. I'm curious if anyone uses it. I am just starting to. Well, someone in the chat said they really think volume's a very good indicator. Maybe you and Reese could bounce back and forth with your strategies. Hey, make friends in the chat, right? It's great to connect with other traders. Connect with other traders. All right, it would be good to reload here anyway. I'm just surprised the Dow, the Dow with a retest as we do it. I don't know if this is the safest thing right now. I might, it's just like, the thing is, before every Christmas rally, I know this too. It's happened to me last year. Before every big rally around this time, there's always a moment where signals don't look good, and then we see it break those signals. But the risk, man, the risk right now is so much higher. Yeah. Tell us what I use to find reversals. Weekly expected moves are the best thing in the world. Weekly expected moves and divergence is the best thing in the world. And we can prove it to you in about 10 seconds here, right? We're in a buy zone. A monthly expected move this time though, right? Monthly expected move is here. We see a divergence. It goes to the upside, right? This is where you want to look for reversals, are down by this, up by this, right, for the week, but down by this for the month. And so if we were going to keep going for the month, we would have landed in a 32% zone, right? You're most likely to land in the 68% zone because your other side of that line's way up towards 618, right? So down here, we start to look for reversals. We find it. We find the higher low. Bam. Yeah, we just try to think very critically, but also very simply. Risk? Yes. Dollar not able to cross. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Matthew. It's like I'm still, you see me do this every once in a while where I just scroll up real quick and I go, damn, that dollar is even more positive now. I'm like, what the heck? Which just tells us, hey, this 2 hour might not be done. Right, this 2 hour might not be done. And then you go, oh, well, this is going down. Well, it's still above the trend. It has not confirmed down on volatility on the daily. So you still have the opportunity to see that 2 hour move higher. See what happens. Positive SPY, great indicator. IBM. Let's go look at IBM. Because I think this one was interesting. Okay, IBM, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. IBM actually getting the drop on the 2 hour to make a potential, well, I guess you would at this point say higher low, right? Not necessarily divergence because of the close of this bar. So that's what I would be paying attention to. Maybe it looks a little smoother on the hourly. See that? But you wouldn't consider it divergence. You would more so say higher low. And you're kind of piling up like you're flagging, so be aware if that turns down. But if the hourly can get a strong move here, it would be above the 5, so I kind of like it there. Is this a daily pullback as of now? You have daily divergence, so be very aware that you're taking kind of a positive trade when daily divergence is there. Daily momentum is not with you here, but it is still positive. So this is relatively similar to kind of Meta. Yeah, this is relatively similar to Meta. At least the look is different, but how you treat it is very similar. And where are you reacting to? Very obvious level here for where you get reactions. Okay, you have a breakout area, you have a failure above it, you have a breakout area, you have a retest, you have a touch, you have a touch. So there's probably a little zone right in here that I would draw up, right? And it'd probably come all the way down to here. That's the next gap. So if I really wanted to do it, I'd just go like this, I'd go like this, and I would go, hey, let me take the top of the gap right there, and then I would take the closing or the top or the bottom of the gap there. So there you go, right here to right here looks like the important points. Any reversal signals in here I'm paying attention to. And you have them, right? I have a 30-minute higher low. I have a 2 hour higher low. I have an hourly higher low. You have a higher low on all these, but I think the better one is the hourly for this one, because if you get a strong hourly bar that goes like this, you could break out of that zone, and then that would be a good indication that this is trying to be a new low there. Sipping eggnog, John. Is there some alcohol in there? Because I'm about to go. Oh, that's what I was gonna do today. Frick. Oh God, guys, I was gonna put on my elf outfit and get a drink and have some drinks with you guys. Dang it. Maybe we'll do that Thursday or Friday this week. I love how you said that. BlackBerry is trying to be the little engine that could. TNXP. Let's take a look at it. I mean, for this one, okay, the hourly, the 30 minutes going to be negative. Weirdly enough, just so you are aware, yeah, just so you are aware, this is considered divergence. Okay, just so you're aware, this is considered a 2 hour divergence. So what you're looking for is that hourly to curl back up, right? That would be a bullish thing, right? You might want to drop this trend a little bit, notice that you lost it and say, hey, we need to buy back up into that to see another move higher. You could be consolidating in some way, right? But you want to pay attention to signals as well, and that would be, hey, where's the close of this bar? Okay, it's even with this one. That's a double top signal potentially. It is on the 2 hour, so you got to pay attention because the daily could roll here. So if you're really trying to get bullish, just make sure we're waiting for confirmations, right? We need those reasons to take a trade. Yeah, I looked at Rumble a little bit. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to get off 30 minutes ago. My wife's gonna kill me. Oh shit. That's all right. 30 minutes. So this is great. You're actually holding up at higher prices too. You're not seeing that waterfall moment. You know, even on a 30 minute, you want to pay attention to those. But the opportunity might be, hey, this can funnel around and funnel around. Want to pay attention to any kind of little structure I see. But I think we need to reconnect with that 5. Now, whether that's with time, pull sideways till that 5 catches up, or whether that's going to drop down and touch it and then turn back up. Either way, I can just see if this 30 minute looks good, look at the price action and go, hey, I can make a decision once I see that curl up into positive territory. That's a move and a half. Yo, I am playing with fire right now. She's not gonna let me open my presents. Tell her you're getting a massage. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I thought it said tell her that you're getting a massage. And I was like, that would piss her off a lot more, guys. No, now I read it correctly. Merry Christmas, cuckoos. Thank you so much for the $5. Holy crap. Merry Christmas right back to you guys. Seriously, I could not be more excited to spend my first Christmas with my baby girl and to spend it with a nice community the day before. I think it's so much fun. Yeah, I know, Maneki. I read it wrong and I was like, dude, she's going to be pissed. There you go. It's popping up on the screen. Thank you so much, Cuckoos, for that $5 donation. Merry Christmas to all of you guys, and thank you guys for giving some of your hard-earned money back to the stream. Closer and closer we get to making this a little bit more full-time, which is fantastic. Yeah, maybe I can convince her to get the artwork done and we can try to go full-time on this a little bit more. Wouldn't mean I can stream all day, but it would mean certain days I might be able to stream longer. Hey, and Tree Ghost, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate you being here today. Because of Tree Ghost, we're one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. No, we're one step closer to 10K, so I appreciate it, guys. That's so fun. And there you go, Tree Ghost 04. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you're taking some in and eager to learn, right? That's what we're overall doing here. Trying to learn how these things move, and maybe we can do that by seeing how things are behaving in the market right now, and maybe you're able to make some good decisions going forward. I think that's the important part. Volatility still breaking down, even with the big push to the put-call ratio. Very interesting. Look at the Qs, they're reaching up there. I think you would want to back off for a split second here. I'm interested to see if this bullishness just takes you into a gap up on Thursday. IWM still lagging, not even taking back the 5. DIA still lagging, right? Taking back the 5, but mainly just retesting a sell zone. Very rough. And then Apple kind of doing Apple things, getting rid of all the signals, still holding one little divergence there, but pretty crazy. AMD, how's that guy doing? Ooh. It's not the best look in the world, but still heading to the upside. Haven't even really retested the 5 or anything like that. Just taking back the 5, 2 hour crossed up. I like that divergence a lot. Already seeing something crazy, I believe, for AMD. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Okay, this is something we can learn from. Okay. Let me see here. Those wicks right there. Okay, so if you notice here, we do have a weekly expected move with a great 2 hour signal, which means you might violate that weekly expected move. Well, that weekly expected move is right where these wicks are, kind of in this little area here. So not only do we go fill the gap, but we also retest the breakout of the weekly expected move. The weekly expected move, if you do get past it, you can use it as support to then head higher. And that's actually what might be happening right here for AMD. Now, this is a signal we want to watch if that 30-minute crosses down, but we are holding with a retest of the weekly expected move, which is actually a good thing for a stock to do. TLT still holding divergence, not able to react at this point. When it does, if we see those yields back off dramatically, that's when IWM might catch a good bid. Let's look at that housing sector. Housing sector, you see getting more towards the 5, looking for another drop, it looks like. The housing sector is in big trouble. This is what we talked about over the weekend when Jerome Powell said we avoided recession. Yeah, the housing market, home builders especially, is saying something very different. XLU. XLU has backed off dramatically. Looks like it might catch a bounce here. Yeah, 2 hour, pretty good base. Ooh, that's a bad point though. Still could be though. Still could be. Maybe that 2 hour needs to reload one more time, but we might go retest this breakdown area here, retest that low. And you see how we built liquidity and then dropped. So we might retest in there for XLU. Yeah, we'll keep watching. Good stuff. All right, guys, I do have to hop off, or else I'm not gonna get my husband and wife Christmas present, if you know what I'm saying. So I do have to hop off. Hey, Suri, thank you so much. SGD, I will check it for you since you donated real quick. I know I'm late, but it's easy. You're giving me a massage today. No, I'm gonna stay on for one more because I don't, you know, if someone gives their hard-earned money, I want to do a good job for them. So I'm gonna seriously take a look at this, and then I do have to head out. If you donate after this one, guys, I will get to it maybe on Thursday morning. I'll try to come on a little bit earlier. For this one, see, I like the divergence on the MACD, but I want to show you the problem here. And the problem is this is like you would say grade 2 because it's good on the MACD. It's like pretty damn good, but notice the divergences haven't been playing out a lot of the time. So we're getting back over towards this area. Okay, what's going to happen from here? Well, the problem is look at your RSI not showing it. So that means I have to take into consideration the risk. And the risk is that the daily could reject at any point, turn down, and then go make a better point. It could not make the better point. So because this is violated, most likely you do have another move down here. And then you could see that trend continue, and right as people get bearish, that's when you actually see it on both at the same time. That's what I'd really be paying attention to for this one. I want to look because it's extended on the daily. I want to look at the weekly. Man, not enough price action. That's unfortunate. So without enough price action, you really got to see this get above the center line, get above like a 20, most likely to be bullish on it. 30's too choppy. 2 hours too choppy as well. So the first indication that you're going to turn down on the daily would be where the 2 hour crosses, and you're crossing pretty damn close to the center line if this happens. If you're building, this is great. If you're building, and you see that break to the upside, hey, that's awesome. Do I have a good signal to tell me when to get in, when to get out? Or is this more just a, hey, if I break through and close above this level right here, or maybe the highest point, so probably right here, 250. If I can close above 250, maybe that catches a good move. But it's just a little bit of one that looks like, hey, I might need a stronger base, I think is the more probable thing here. Yeah. Oh, what the hell? I'm looking at safe and green development. Oh, I'm sorry. What the hell? The link to the course is down in the description. God dang it. I just looked at that whole time and I didn't read chat because I'm an idiot. Singapore dollar futures, you want to look at this? That's showing daily divergence for sure. So daily divergence here is what I see. If I'm looking at the right thing, right? I'm looking at the USD, but I want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing now. Now I'm nervous. That's the funny thing. I mean, I'm looking at futures, but... All right, let me go look at my other one. Let's pull up the SPY for a sec while I actually find the right chart here, because I'm being stupid. You know me. Oh my God, I see what you're... Oh, Jesus. It's just the currency it donated in. I just broke... Well, we looked at some good charts there, though, right? we can mark those off on our watch list now and start looking at some stuff. That was cute. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that's funny. I already got to... We had Ari practice, my daughter. We had her practice opening a present. So we all opened our shittiest present. So I already got a tactical knife. Pumped. Which I don't even want a knife for protection reasons. I just want it to be able to open stuff because I bite my nails. You guys would, I mean, my wife is a nail tech, weirdly enough, and my nails are the worst nails you'll ever see. They look like nubs. Not like skin peeling or anything, but like my nail is maybe 2 millimeters long. And that's just terrible. My cuticles suck. All right, guys, so what I'd be really paying attention to is now we're in a danger zone, so we have to be watching out just if things are able to curl back down, and pay attention to your risk. This is a strong move from a lot of stocks, so if I can take some of my risk out, I think risk management is something that would be a good thing. Alrighty, and I just have a couple of things to clear up here. Time. AMD, yeah, trying to use that. I just need to look at 2 other things here. Not daily, right? Do I need to look at daily for this? Okay. IWM. Bitcoin, is that holding? Bitcoin is going to be important for me. So I'll still be paying attention to some charts throughout the day, throughout the rest of the day, for the last couple of hours here. So on Patreon, be looking out. If I see anything, flip really fast and I think it's important, I will be putting it up on Patreon today. And I will make sure to, now I have to put it in my schedule, so it might not happen right away, but we will be putting on the course that is down in the description, both courses on the Christmas and New Year's sale, guys. Best price you're ever going to get right there. We're going to do that every single year, but I will be putting out the how to get the 5-day onto your chart and how to use the 5-day or how to pay attention to it in a video that I have to edit again. So that's fantastic. Maybe I'll look through and maybe there's a reason that it didn't upload and I need to make it better. You know what I mean? All right. I'm going to peace out, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. I have to log off right away. So have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys on YouTube. Most likely it will come out, the YouTube video for Thursday will come out tomorrow night, just so you are aware. And then Thursday morning, we will be back live because I'm pretty sure the market's open. So talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Merry Christmas. And thank you guys so much for the donations. I got to go buy my wife a massage now. Peace.